Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. This is Allie over at the Core Group. We're going to start right on time here. A little bit of housekeeping. If you do have any questions at the end of the webinar, feel free to, or during, you can feel free to type in your questions and I'll make sure to address them with David at the end. We're lucky to have David from Lincoln to go over I4Life with us, and we're really excited. So without further ado, David, will you take it over?
Perfect. Thank you so much. First and foremost, thanks for everyone taking time out of your day, out of your practice to jump on. We're really excited about this. We are going to concentrate most of this on I4Life. I4Life is a patented solution that we offer at Lincoln. You know, there's a lot of things you can do with I4Life, but what we really want to do is simplify it and show you exactly where to implement I4Life into your practice. But before we jump into I4Life, we want to make sure everyone's familiar with our chassis. And when I say chassis, I really mean our index annuity. And so our index annuity, our flagship product is going to be Lincoln OptiBlend. So what you see on here is you have a 5, 7, 10, or bonus product. And no, we're not going to sit here and talk about product the whole day, but just want to make sure you understand the chassis. We have been in the accumulation game forever. We love this chassis, whether you're a 5-year, 7-year, 10-year bonus. I draw your attention to the rates, especially on that 5, 10 year product. I mean, great short-term accumulation. We just launched a phenomenal strategy with Fidelity all around dividends and why dividends are important when interest rates are low and during late cycle of a bull market run. Really great stuff there. And then we have your traditional strategies like the S&P cap, S&P par. I'll tell you, these rates and these caps are as competitive as anyone in the marketplace. For today's discussion, though, I4Life, we really just want to concentrate on the 10-year, not the 10-year with a bonus, just OptiBlend 10. If you're writing accumulation, that's great. Look at the 5, 7, 10 plus, whatever you want to do. I4Life, though, is primarily just going to be on the 10-year. It can't be on the 5-year. It could be on the 7-year, but most of the cases, if not all, are on OptiBlend 10. So the chassis itself is an index annuity, right? Multiple strategies. Notice that ours are all annual strategies, which we think are really important. Again, being late cycle in the bull market, lock in your gains, compound off those gains. Don't go 2 or 3 years out. The other thing I want to draw your attention to is on that Fidelity strategy. Just because we launched it literally about 2 weeks ago, we are so thrilled to be partnering with Fidelity and adding that option into OptiBlend. If you look at the top of my screen right here, type in, when you get a minute, go.fidelity.com/FADI. Okay? You do that, hit enter, and you can go to Fidelity's website talking about this index. The cool thing is, you know, when partnering with Fidelity, we want an index that is going to perform well. You know, clients have the downside protection with FIA. We want to see some steady, good performance in a low interest rate environment and potentially, you know, being late cycle in a bull market. So we looked at, you know, the 2000s, obviously, you know, came off a long bull market run. Dividends performed phenomenal during that period. Looked at the 30s and 40s when interest rates stayed low for more than 32 years. So a lot of research and a lot of analytics have gone into creating this index. The cool thing is, if you look at the back-tested returns over the last 10 years, it's performed north of 6.7%. So a lot of great information on here. Again, before we jump into I4Life, the chassis is an index annuity OptiBlend series. Today, specifically the 10-year, and the new strategy we have, that Fidelity AIM Dividend Index. For more information on OptiBlend or the strategy, definitely reach out to Core, or you can reach out to the team at Lincoln. So great stuff there. Again, that's about accumulation. That's about strategies. What today, though, we want to talk about is I4Life. Now, yes, it's on an index annuity. Yes, primarily it's going to be on that 10-year. And yes, it's an income rider. All that is great. But I4Life itself is a complete game changer for you and your practice. There's no two ways about it. Today, we're going to show you what I4Life is, but really what we're going to show you is where to implement it into your practice, how to, you know, attract higher net worth clients, how to really open up new solutions for your practice. So sit tight. I know this is going to be some great info, really exciting. Again, if you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. We'll address all those questions in the end. So the question is, what do you consider a big number? Let me tell you a big number. $19.4 trillion. That is how much money is sitting in cash right now. Clients are scared of volatility. They're scared of the market. We can offer that protection with an index annuity, but what they're also looking for is a solution to a certain need or a solution to a certain want. And that's what I4Life can truly address. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So a huge opportunity. Today, what is I4Life? Some of y'all might have heard about it before, some others maybe not. So we're going to talk about what I4Life actually is. Then we're going to talk about the power of annuitization. You know, it sounds weird to say that. It makes me chuckle every time. You know, when we think about annuitization, we think about SPIAs. The thing is, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with annuitization. What you need to get out of your mind, though, is SPIAs. SPIAs, no control for the client, no growth for the client, limited death benefit options. This is an index annuity with the income rider that can do all the cool things that you can do with annuitization with none of the bad, which that's where the SPIAs come in, right? Having that loss of control, that loss of growth. And then finally, where does this fit? You know, if you give me 20, 25 minutes today, I'm going to show you some unique ways to really attract higher net worth clients and to really expand the opportunities within your practice. So let's get going. What is I4Life? It's a patented income rider from Lincoln. We have multiple private letter rulings from the IRS on this. It's about guaranteed lifetime income, right? It is an income rider, so that income is guaranteed for life. Tax advantages for non-qualified. This is key. If you think about a SPIA, those payments are have a tax exclusion ratio, right? They don't come out as LIFO. Again, this is not a SPIA, but the payments are going to look like a SPIA. Part basis, part gains. So very tax favorable. Clients have access and control to their account value. Look, this is still an index annuity. They can reallocate. They can take 10% free withdrawal, actually on top of their payment. They have the growth, and then joint coverage, joint life coverage. Again, we didn't say spousal coverage in kind of a foreshadowing of what's to come. There's a lot of unique opportunities with I4Life and how to implement this. So I4Life has been around since 2000. We have 19 years of experience in this. The vast majority, to be fair, is on the VA side. We're relatively new on the FIA side, but we know this strategy works. We know that it attracts clients. We've seen it for 19 years now. And I think having it on that index annuity chassis, especially at this juncture in the market, is very important to you and your clients. So let's just see how this works, okay? Joe, age 70, has $250,000. Got some gains in there. And we want to see, you know, if Joe took income from, let's say, a variable annuity or an index annuity, how do those gains come out? They come out LIFO, right? So let's compare a LIFO withdrawal to a tax exclusion withdrawal. So if we look at this exact same payment, let's just say $14,000. So $14,000 comes out on Joe's tax bracket, which is low because, you know, with federal and state, you're probably somewhere in the mid-30s, but let's just say 28 to be simple. Joe is going to bring home almost $2,700 more with a tax favorable payment. Here's what I'll argue with you every single day of the week. Clients do not care about how high their withdrawal is. They care about what's going into their checking account. If you can offer me $100,000 withdrawal, but I'm only putting $10,000 in my checking account, that does me no good, right? I care about what's in my checking account. How much money do I have to pay my bills, to take a vacation, you know, to treat my wife to a nice dinner, whatever it may be. That is what I4Life is about. It's about providing the highest net check. So again, annuitization. The other cool thing on this is that, yes, the payments come out tax deferred, But there's some unique death benefit options. We're not going to spend time on that today because I want to talk about a few other points. But death benefits and some can come out FIFO instead of LIFO, really cool. But again, not for today's discussion. Today, I want to talk about the low-hanging fruits and where you can find this. So what is I4Life? That was the first thing, right? It's a patented income rider, private letter rulings that mimics the payments that look like a SPIA, but the clients don't lose control. They don't lose, they still have growth, access to the money. Here's some other things that you can do with I4Life. Pre-59.5 income. This is why the power of annuitization is so cool. You can turn on income pre-59.5 without a 10% penalty. Traditional income riders, 10% penalty. I4Life, no penalty. So again, don't, instead of just telling clients, well, we're going to start income at 60. If you're working with a high net worth client that wants to retire before 60, great. Now you have a solution for them. Trust planning. Again, we could go down the rabbit hole and spend hours on this. I don't want to do that. What I want to tell you, though, is I4Life provides some unique opportunity for clients, especially higher net worth clients or clients that have unique situations where trusts are involved. Let me give you two examples, but I'm going to focus on one of them. One, charitable remainder trust. Great in I4Life. Two, special needs trust. This is something that's near and dear to my heart. It's nice to not only provide clients with a solution, but also a peace of mind to know that if they pass away, their loved ones, their special needs child or grandchild is going to be taken care of. I4Life is absolutely a home run for any of your clients who maybe have a special needs family member. Another one, income for someone who isn't a spouse. This is key when we talk about where does this fit. The power of annuitization. This doesn't have to be husband and wife. This can be brother and sister. This could be business partners. This could be grandparent and grandson. So a really cool options here, really cool story. And then finally, before we jump into where does this fit, the power of annuitization, right? Non-qualified stretches, we'll talk about this more, but there's some unique beneficiary options with I4Life that you don't have anywhere else available to you. So we've talked about what I4Life is. We've talked about the power of annuitization. Now let's talk about where does this fit into your practice. This is key. What I want you to think about, though, real quick is there's a ton here to do. I need you to take a step back and say, look, I write a ton of life insurance. I don't write annuities. Perfect. Take the one or two of these points and implement them to your practice where they fit best and make it easier for you. Hey, I'm a managed money advisor. Perfect. Let me show you where that fits. Hey, I write a lot of annuities. Where does this fit? So my point in this is each of these points is great. Great solutions, unique solutions, but figure out which ones are closest to your practice and what you're doing today. And what you can do is call Core or call us at Lincoln, and we can kind of tell you, traditionally we see life producers gravitate to this point and this point, so whatever it may be. So where does it fit? Do you have any of your clients looking for income in the next 12 months? Now, let me explain this. A client walks into your office tomorrow and says, you know what? Here's my money. I need income in the next 12 months. If it's non-qualified, it's a no-brainer. It should be Lincoln every single day of the week and twice on Sundays because it's a tax-efficient income stream with I4Life. If it's qualified money, if it's joint ownership, I4Life, again, a game changer. You won't have the tax efficiency, right, because it's qualified, but the payout stream is very, very strong. So that's if the client comes in the door. Here's the other thing that I want you to think about. 50% of that income in the next 12 months are going to be clients in your book of business today. Again, call Core, call Lincoln, ask your staff to go through your book of business. If you have any clients who have bought annuities, variable, index, I don't care, and they turned on income in the last 12 months, or they're going to turn in income in the next 12 months, let's do a annuity policy review. You hear about that on the life side all the time, right? Life policy reviews. let's do an annuity policy review. What's the cost basis? What's the account value? How much income is being produced? What we have found is 9 times out of 10, because of the power of I4Life, we can give that client a higher net check. I said this in the beginning. We don't care about the withdrawal. The clients don't care about the withdrawal. They care about how much money is going to their pocket. So let's do an annuity policy review. Any clients turned on income in the next 12 months, or any clients that had turned on income in the previous 12 months. Really cool story there. Next, do you have any clients looking for income before age 60? This is truly a game changer. We're always like, all right, 60 or above, let's start income. There's a lot of people who retire before 60. Lord knows I hope to be one of them, right? Professional athletes, do they retire at 65 or 35? We do a ton of professional athletes. Think about when clients buy life insurance. How many clients are buying life insurance at age 70 or versus in their 40s and 50s? How are they funding that life insurance? We can set up I4Life, and again, we're kind of bleeding into that second point, but we can use I4Life to fund that life insurance. So pre-59.5 income, a lot of this is going to be higher net worth clients. The clients you're looking to recruit and to attract every single day of the week. It's doctors, it's lawyers, it's business owners, it's professional athletes. Those clients are retiring early. And when they retire, they still need income. And we can provide them that income with I4Life. Tax efficient income, guaranteed for life, and they don't get hit with a 10% penalty. Again, flex pay, long-term care, and life insurance. I don't know if y'all know this, and I'm kind of saying this a little sarcastically, but Lincoln is a leader in life insurance and our long-term care products MoneyGuard. We can take I4Life and fund that life insurance contract or fund that flex pay MoneyGuard contract. If you choose to write somewhere else, fine. We can still fund that contract to the other carrier. Do you remember that great infomercial? It's set it and forget it. That's what you do at Lincoln. Buy I4Life to fund a second to die or a 20-pay term, whatever it may be, and we'll send that check directly to the carrier or to ourselves. The client doesn't have to worry about getting the money in and then funding another one. And really, you're leveraging that one asset to create a new asset. A lot of people have used SPIAs to fund life insurance in the past. The issue is you have no growth, you don't have any control, you have limited death benefits. From now on, I4Life should be funding that life insurance contract. So really cool story there. Have any of your clients passed away with a non-qualified annuity? There's a lot of talk right now on beneficiary IRAs with some of the bills going on, but one of the coolest options for beneficiaries out there is called non-qualified stretches. So let's just say my dad has an annuity, starts at 100, grows to 200. When he passes away, his options are, my options are lump sum, 5-year deferral, non-qualified stretch. Well, a ton of people go non-qualified stretch, right? They don't want the big tax burden. They don't necessarily need the money right now. They could be in their 40s or 30s still working. So they just want to spread out that tax liability. That's great. The issue with non-qualified stretches, one, payments aren't guaranteed for life. When that money runs out, it's out. The other issue is, how do the payments come out? They come out LIFO. What's the beauty of I4Life? It's tax-efficient payments guaranteed for life. Anytime you hear the word non-qualified stretch, cross it out. It's I4Life. So if you have a client who passes away with a non-qualified annuity, again, it's Lincoln every single day of the week. Call your team at CORE. Call your team at Lincoln. We're happy to help you there. Another one. Do you have any older clients with annuities that don't need the asset? It is amazing with clients living longer how many people are just sitting on an annuity. It is a legacy play, right? I had this annuity for 10, 20, 30 years. When I die, I'm just going to pass it to the next generation. Well, let me tell you something. Annuities are great at accumulating wealth and protecting wealth. They are not so great at passing wealth tax efficiently. But what we can do at Lincoln is go ahead and take that asset. If they don't need it, let's go ahead and pass it to the next generation, whether it's the children or the grandchildren. So we have solutions for clients above 85. Don't get stuck on any age. If that client is 86, if they're 95, they're 104, I don't care. If you have a client that has annuity assets, specifically non-qualified, not qualified, but specifically non-qualified in this example, we want you to reach out to your team at Core, reach out to your team at Lincoln. We can show you different ways to pass that asset to the next generation. And here's the cool thing. They're not just passing an asset, they're passing security, because they're passing an income stream for the rest of that client's life, whether it's their child or their grandchild. So a really cool story there. Finally, before we kind of wrap this all up and go to those questions, remember, if you have questions, put them in the chat box. Do you work with any high net worth clients? Now, let me rephrase that. Do you work with or want to work with any high net worth clients? I think the answer is yes, right? Don't we all? High net worth clients have a ton of assets, right? I know, life insurance, really important, right? The estate planning. But what a lot of high net worth clients want to do is not only pass an asset, but to pass a legacy, to pass a memory. So let me tell you this. We did a radio segment. I don't know if anyone on here does radio, but we did a 5-minute radio segment down in Texas. From that 5-minute segment, we closed over $6 million in business and had $25 million in hypos. I mean, it was just a home run. And what we talked about was grandparents. Grandparents love who the most? Their grandchildren, right? Grandparents love their children, but they're in love with their grandchildren. And when you think about grandparents, grandparents might be in their 70s or 80s, the grandchildren, below 10. So, that grandchild and that grandparent, unfortunately, aren't going to, grow, hang out for the next 80 years. But what they can do, what those grandparents can do, is they can pass a memory, a legacy, and to show that grandchild how much they love them. And you know how they do that? They set up I4Life. They make the annuitant the grandchild. And then every year, for the rest of that grandchild's life, they get a check from Grandma and Papa. It could be on their birthday. It could be on Christmas or Hanukkah. It could be opening day of baseball season or football season. Whatever is special to that grandparent and that grandchild, they can set it up. And it absolutely will blow your mind how many clients, especially high net worth clients, have said, I've been looking for something, for a way to show my grandchildren how much we love them. And we know we're not going to be around forever, but we wish we could show them how much we love them for as long as they're around. And that is the power of I4Life. Okay? So let me kind of sum this up. We talked about in the beginning, and I'm just going to show you this again. We talked about this in the beginning, the fidelity strategy that we love, right? This new fidelity strategy, the back testing over the last 10 years, north of 6.7% return on the OptiBlend suite. If you're doing this, if your clients are looking for accumulation, you've come to the right place. It's OptiBlend. You do it with the best-in-class organization like Core. Call the Core team, call the Lincoln team, 5, 7, 10 or plus. A lot of traction in that short duration. Obviously, we're doing a ton in the 10-year and the others as well. For I4Life specifically, though, we want to talk about that 10-year. So great strategies, right? Fidelity, 100% par, got a strong cap, strong par on the S&P. But the solution, if they're not just looking for accumulation, is I4Life. I mean, what a cool story, right? The power of annuitization. What is I4Life? The power of its annuitization, and where does it fit? I mean, this is not pennies that you're stepping over. This is $100 bills that you're walking over every single day. These clients, your clients, are looking for these solutions. Take one or two of them and implement them into your practice. Again, index annuity, downside protection, phenomenal accumulation strategies, and then if they are looking for a solution, I4Life could help them with those solutions. The other cool thing is, as of October 1st, I4Life is now available post-issue. So not at issue, but post-issue on the 10-year as well. So some of these ideas, clients could start with accumulation and then add I4Life down the road. So with that, again, any questions, put them in the chat. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your business. Hopefully you got something out of this, and I will turn it back over to Sally and open up for any questions there are.
Hey, David, one question here that's popped in. It says, can you explain more about what you said about passing an asset, an old annuity, for a very old client? I thought the issue ages were 85 max.
Great question. And honestly, it's funny enough, that question tends to be one that people walk away with, especially people that have been in the business for a little while. So I'm going to give you an example. Every age is going to be different. We have one kind of set of guidelines for 88 and below, and then one for 89 and below. But I'm just going to stick with the 88-year-old because that's the simplest. But either way, the team at Core or the team at Lincoln can walk you through this. Client, 88-year-old owner and annuitant, has an old annuity from XYZ carrier. We're going to 1035 it to Lincoln, accept it like to like, even on the 10-year product. And we're going to change the ownership the annuitant day one to a child, a grandchild, whoever they may want it to be. Then 30 days later, the 88-year-old will receive one payment. That payment is always based on whoever the annuitant is. So let's just say, for example, we put the child on there who's 60 years old. So 88-year-old brings it over like to like. Day one, we add the 60-year-old as annuitant. 30 days later, the 88-year-old receives one check. Once they receive that check, the IRS considers it in force. And since it's deemed annuitized, we can change ownership from the 88-year-old to the 60-year-old without a taxable consequence. Really cool. So this asset that was earmarked for the next generation, bring it over, 88-year-old takes one check, change ownership to the 60-year-old, 60-year-old gets income for life. So that asset that was earmarked for the next generation, we go ahead and pass it. We pass it tax efficiently, and the 88-year-old knows that their kid is going to be supported and taken care of for the rest of their life. Really cool story. Now, is there a benefit to you, the advisor? First of all, yes, huge benefit to the client, huge benefit to the beneficiary. And oh, by the way, when you do that ownership change to the 60-year-old, not only do we allow you to do the 10-year product at an 88-year-old initially, but we'll pay comp based on the 60-year-old, not on the 88-year-old. So great question.
Well, thank you. I'm not seeing any others at the moment popping up, so I think you did a pretty good job as you were presenting. From my point of view, I just want to tell everybody that there will be the recording of this webinar will be on the back end of the website. I will send the link out. So if you have somebody in your office that missed it, that wanted to see it, or if you want to review it, David, also, hopefully you can give me the presentation and I'll link that there as well, and any other materials that you think would be important for people to have. But we thank you so much for being on the call today and for answering all our questions.
Awesome. Thanks. Everyone have a great day and appreciate your time today. So thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye-bye, everybody.